Oh my goodness, James, you are not going to believe the coffee I just had. It was, how do I describe it? It was like liquid energy, but also tasted like a burnt tire.
A burnt tire? That sounds intense. Did you finish it?
I did, because I need the energy. We have such a cool topic today, and I didn't trust myself to be awake enough without it. But wow, my taste buds are suffering.
Well, I appreciate the sacrifice, Amelia, truly, because if you hadn't had that tire coffee, we might not be having this conversation right now. And this conversation is going to be great.
It really is. You know, I was sitting there sipping that interesting drink, and I was reading through some student comments online, and so many people were saying the same thing. They feel stuck. Like they know the grammar, they know the basic words, but when they try to write an essay for IELTS or TOEFL, they sound like a teenager.
Ah, yes, the good but not great wall. It's a very common place to get stuck. You can communicate, but you don't sound academic. You don't sound sophisticated. It's like trying to paint a detailed picture with only 3 colors.
That is such a perfect comparison. Only 3 colors. You can do it, but it's going to look a bit basic, right? So today, we are going to add some more colors to the palette. Welcome to Learning English Studio, everyone. I'm Amelia.
And I'm James. Hello to all our listeners. Whether you are commuting, cleaning your room, or just relaxing, we are so happy you're here with us.
We really are. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. We are all about making English learning feel like a chat with friends. No boring lectures, just real talk. And please, if you like what you hear, tap that subscribe button and give us a like. It really helps us reach more students just like you.
Yes, please do share the love. And if you have a friend who is stressing about an upcoming exam, send them our way. We might just be able to calm their nerves.
Exactly. Okay, James, let's get into it. Vocabulary Boost. That sounds like a superhero name, doesn't it? Captain Vocabulary Boost.
Yes, flying in to save your essay score. But really, for exams like IELTS and TOEFL, vocabulary is arguably the most important factor. It counts for 25% of your score in writing and speaking. That is a huge chunk.
Wow, 25%. That's a quarter of the grade just on words. So if you have great grammar but basic words like good, bad, and big, you are basically leaving points on the table.
Exactly. You are capping your score. You might hit a 6 or maybe a 6.5, but to get to that 7 or 8, you need lexical resource. That's the fancy term the examiners use. It means you need a wide range of words, and you need to use them precisely.
Precisely. That's the key word, isn't it? It's not just about using long, complicated words. It's about using the right word.
Yes, I always tell students, don't use a big word just to sound smart. If you use it wrong, it sounds worse than using a simple word correctly. Accuracy first, then complexity.
Okay, so let's start with some basics. We all use the word good too much, right? I know I do. The movie was good. The food was good. The weather is good. It's boring.
It is boring. It's the vanilla ice cream of words. It's fine, but we want strawberry swirl. We want chocolate chips. So let's brainstorm. If a movie is good, what else could it be?
Well, if it was really exciting and kept me on the edge of my seat, I'd say it was gripping or captivating.
Ooh, captivating. I love that one. I was captivated by the storyline. That sounds much better than the story was good. What if the movie made you laugh a lot?
Then it was hilarious or amusing, or maybe witty if it was smart humor.
Nice. And what if the movie was kind of sad and serious?
That would be poignant or maybe moving. It was a moving film.
See? Look at that. We have 4 different ways to say good depending on the situation. That is what the examiners are looking for. They want to see that you can choose the specific flavor of good that fits the context.
I love that, the flavor of words. Okay, let's look at the opposite, the word bad, another one we overuse.
Oh yeah, the traffic was bad, my day was bad, the situation is bad. Let's spice it up. If the traffic is bad, what is it really?
It's terrible or horrific?
Horrific is strong, maybe chaotic. The traffic this morning was chaotic.
I like chaotic. What about a bad decision?
A bad decision could be unwise or poor judgment.
Or detrimental. That's a great academic word. Smoking can be detrimental to your health. It means harmful in a very serious way.
Yes, detrimental is a band 8 word right there. If you use that in your essay, the examiner sits up and takes notice. But remember, you have to use it in the right context. You wouldn't say, my sandwich was detrimental. That sounds weird.
Yes, this detrimental sandwich is delicious. No, that doesn't work at all. Context is king. So we have good and bad covered. What about the word important? Everyone writes, this is an important issue.
Important. The king of essay words. Let's retire it for a while. What can we use instead? How about crucial?
Crucial. It sounds serious. It is crucial that we take action.
Yes, or vital. Vital is similar. Education is vital for a country's development.
What if something is the most important?
Then it's paramount. Oh, I love that word. Safety is of paramount importance. That sounds so professional.
Paramount. I'm writing that down. Paramount. Paramount. I like the sound of it. It feels strong.
It does. It has a certain weight to it. And don't forget significant. There was a significant increase in sales.
Okay, so we have a little list growing here. Goodbye, good, bad, and important. Hello, captivating, detrimental, paramount, and significant.
And the best way to learn these isn't just to memorize the list. It's to use them. You have to force yourself to use them in your daily life, even if you're just texting a friend.
That is such a good tip. I used to do that with Spanish. I would text my friends saying, Hoy fue un día fabuloso, instead of just bueno. It trains your brain.
Exactly. You have to build the muscle memory. Otherwise, when you sit in the exam hall and you are nervous, your brain will default to good and bad because that's what it's used to.
Panic brain wants simple words. Calm, prepared brain wants the fancy words. So we have to train the calm brain.
Well said. Now, let's move on to verbs. Verbs are the engine of the sentence. In IELTS and TOEFL essays, students often use get or make or do for everything.
Oh, the get trap. I got a letter. I got hungry. I got a new car.
Yes, get is the lazy verb. Let's look at think instead of get. No, wait, think. Students always say, I think the government should.
Right, and that's fine, but if you use it 10 times in one paragraph, it's repetitive. What are some alternatives?
Well, you could say, I believe, or I argue that.
I argue that sounds very academic, very strong.
It does. You can also use I contend. That's a high-level word. Some contend the technology is harmful. It means to assert or claim.
Contend, nice. What about reckon? Is that too informal?
Reckon is a bit informal. It's okay for speaking, maybe part 1 or 3, but I'd avoid it in writing. Stick to believe, argue, maintain, or assert.
Okay. What about the word show? Like the graph shows that.
Another classic. In writing task 1 for IELTS, describing charts and graphs, you need variety. Show is fine, but what else does the graph do?
It illustrates?
Yes, it illustrates, it depicts, it demonstrates.
Demonstrates is a strong one. The graph demonstrates a clear trend.
And don't forget indicates or reveals. The data reveals a sharp drop in temperature.
I love reveals. It sounds like the graph is telling a secret.
Exactly. The graph's secret is revealed. So for verbs, avoid do, make, and get where possible, and try to be precise with think and show.
You know, James, I remember when I was first learning academic writing, I had a teacher who told me that adjectives and adverbs were like spices. A little bit adds flavor, but too much ruins the dish.
That is brilliant advice. Who was that teacher?
Oh, just an old professor from university. He used to say, Amelia, don't write very, very big. Just write massive.
Very, very big is definitely a recipe for disaster. Adverbs like very, really, and a lot are usually fillers. We use them when we can't think of the right word.
Right? Instead of very tired, say exhausted. Instead of very happy, say delighted or overjoyed.
Overjoyed is such a happy word. Just saying it makes me smile. Overjoyed.
Me too. And instead of very worried, you could say anxious or apprehensive.
Apprehensive is a great word for TOEFL speaking. It shows you can express specific emotions. I was apprehensive about the presentation.
So the rule of thumb is, if you are about to say very or really, stop. Ask yourself, is there a single word that means very adjective?
Exactly. It's called upgrading your vocabulary.
It's like moving from economy class to business class. Same destination, but the journey is much more comfortable.
I love that analogy. Business class words. I want to fly business class in my next essay.
We all do, Amelia. We all do. But let's not forget about collocations. This is a secret weapon.
Ooh, collocations. This sounds technical. Can you explain it simply for our listeners?
Sure. Collocations are just words that are best friends. They like to hang out together. For example, we say make a mistake, not do a mistake.
Right. Even though do and make both mean action, mistake only likes make.
Exactly. In exams, using correct collocations shows that you sound natural. If you say do a mistake, the examiner knows you are translating from your native language.
So give us some high-level collocations, things that would impress an examiner.
Okay, how about environment? Everyone writes about the environment. Instead of just protect the environment, you could say preserve the environment.
Preserve. That sounds more permanent, like we are keeping it in a jar. Well, not a jar, but keeping it safe.
Yes, a giant jar for the earth. Another one, address a problem, not solve every time. The government needs to address the issue of pollution.
Address the problem. I like that. It sounds like you are walking up to the problem and saying, "Hey, I see you."
Yes, confronting it. How about commit a crime, not do a crime?
Right, and take a break, not do a break.
Break a record, keep a promise, give a presentation.
Wow, there are so many. I think the best way to learn these is just reading. When you read news articles like in the BBC or The Guardian, pay attention to which verbs go with which nouns.
Absolutely. Read a sentence, and if you see a combination you like, write it down in a notebook. Just the phrase, address an issue, mitigate a risk.
Mitigate a risk. Ooh, that is very business class. That is definitely a Band 8 phrase. Mitigate. It means to make something less severe, right?
Exactly. We need to mitigate the effects of climate change. Beautiful.
Okay, let's take a short breath here. We've thrown a lot of words at our listeners. Captivating, detrimental, paramount, significant, contend, demonstrate, apprehensive, preserve, address, mitigate. That is a lot to take in.
It is. But don't worry, listeners. You don't need to learn all of these today. Pick one. Just pick one word that you liked.
Yes, pick your favorite. Maybe it's paramount, maybe it's overjoyed. Just one, and use it 3 times today. In a sentence to yourself, in a text message, in your diary.
Make it your word of the day. If you do that every day, in a year, you will have 365 new words. That is huge.
That is such a manageable goal. I think I'm going to pick serene. It's a nice word. It means calm and peaceful. I feel serene after finishing this podcast.
I hope our listeners feel serene too, not stressed. Learning shouldn't be stressful.
Speaking of not being stressed, let's talk about idioms. Are idioms good for these academic exams?
This is a tricky one. For IELTS speaking, idioms can be great, but only if they are used naturally and correctly.
So don't force them.
No, never force an idiom. If you say it's raining cats and dogs in the middle of a serious discussion about economics, the examiner will just think you were strange.
Yeah, so regarding inflation, it is raining cats and dogs. That makes no sense.
Exactly. But if you were talking about learning a language, you could say it was a steep learning curve, but I got the hang of it in the end. Get the hang of it is a nice, natural idiom.
Steep learning curve. I like that. What about for TOEFL? Are idioms okay there?
TOEFL is a bit more academic, even in the speaking section. I would stick to phrasal verbs rather than idioms. Phrasal verbs are verbs like give up, run out of, look into.
Oh, phrasal verbs are everywhere. Native speakers use them constantly.
They do, and using them makes you sound more fluent. Instead of investigate, say look into. We need to look into this matter.
Instead of cancel, say call off.
The meeting was called off. Instead of continue, say carry on.
We must carry on with our work.
See? It sounds much more natural than we must continue with our work. It flows better.
Okay, so for writing task 2, the essay, should we use phrasal verbs?
Be careful there.
In very formal academic writing, sometimes phrasal verbs are considered too informal. It depends on the tone. Look into might be too informal for a university thesis. Investigate or examine is better.
Ah, so we have to switch hats. Conversational hat, phrasal verbs are great. Academic hat, maybe choose the Latin-based word like examine or investigate.
You got it. Context, context, context. Always ask yourself, who am I writing for? What is the purpose?
That is great advice. Let's switch gears a little bit. We've talked a lot about writing. What about the speaking test? How can students boost their vocabulary score there?
In speaking, pronunciation and intonation matter just as much as the word itself. You can know the word chaotic, but if you say chaotic with the stress on the wrong syllable, it sounds confusing.
Oh, that's a good point. We need to listen to how words are pronounced.
Yes, don't just learn the spelling. Listen to the word in a dictionary app or on Google. Click the little speaker icon. Hear the music of the word.
And again, don't use words that are too big if you can't say them comfortably. If you stumble over a word, it breaks your fluency. Better to say very important clearly than paramount and trip over it.
Agreed. Fluency is king in speaking. If you stop to think of a fancy word, you lose points. So practice using these words until they roll off your tongue.
So practice in the shower, practice while driving, talk to your dog. Hey, Fido, you are looking absolutely captivated by that bone.
Captivated by that bone. I'm sure Fido will appreciate the compliment.
I hope so. Dogs are good listeners. They don't judge your grammar.
True, and they don't interrupt. Perfect speaking partners.
Okay, James, we are coming up on the end of our time together. But before we go, I want to talk about one specific topic that appears in essays all the time: technology. Everyone writes about technology. Can we give them a technology vocabulary boost?
Oh, absolutely. Technology is everywhere. Instead of saying new technology, say cutting-edge technology or state-of-the-art technology.
Cutting edge. That sounds sharp, modern.
Yes, and instead of saying computers are changing our lives, you could say technology has revolutionized the way we live. Revolutionized. That's a power verb.
Revolutionized. I like that. And what about the bad things, the downsides?
You could say technology has eroded social skills. Eroded means worn away, like a rock by the sea. Face-to-face interaction has been eroded by social media.
That is such a strong image, eroded.
Or you could say technology fosters isolation. Instead of just saying people are lonely, say technology can lead to a sense of isolation.
Isolation, a very academic word. And what about the pace of change?
It is rapid or unprecedented. The pace of technological change is unprecedented. Unprecedented means never happened before.
Unprecedented. Okay, listeners, if you write an essay about technology, try to use cutting edge, revolutionized, eroded, isolation, and unprecedented. You are guaranteed to impress.
Definitely. Just make sure you spell them right.
Yes, spelling counts. Unprecedented. Tricky.
Well, Amelia, this has been fantastic. I feel like my vocabulary has already gotten a workout just talking to you.
Me too, James. I feel smarter already. I hope our listeners do too. Remember, guys, words are tools. The more tools you have in your toolbox, the more complex things you can build.
That's a beautiful way to end. Don't just settle for the hammer. Get the screwdriver, the wrench, and the paintbrush.
Exactly. Build a masterpiece, not just a shed.
Before we run off to build our masterpieces, we have our favorite part of the show, the interaction. We want to hear from you guys.
Yes, this week we have a fun challenge. We want you to write a single sentence using at least one of the new words we learned today. It can be funny, it can be serious, it can be about your cat.
That's right. Maybe you want to tell us about your detrimental coffee or your captivating lunch. Write your sentence in the comments below. Let's see how creative you can be.
And if you're feeling brave, try to use 2 words in one sentence. The paramount issue is that my pizza is overcooked and tastes detrimental.
That is a great sentence. We can't wait to read yours. And don't forget, if you found this helpful, please give us a thumbs up. It helps us know what you like.
And subscribe to Learning English Studio so you never miss a vocabulary boost. We have lots more great topics coming up.
Thanks for hanging out with us, everyone. Keep practicing, keep reading, and keep smiling.
Yes, keep smiling. It makes you look smarter. Just kidding. But seriously, have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.
Bye. See you next time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.